gathering because we're displaying so much art, so much of what the kids have worked on. It's a real reflection of our school. It's colorful, it's warm, and full of love, and that's the whole goal. I want to say some thank yous to Kev for playing the guitar, and to the lovely Miss Sarika, who this wonderful, amazing work and to your kids who are so brave to show their art and to share their voices with us tonight. So I do want to say that if you have little ones and they need to take a break, the whole show lasts about 20 to 30 minutes. So if they need to take a break, you can go up and go into the preschool room. We're going to start out with some songs and then a play with Janet Esley. And after this song, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So with no further ado, here we go.
Okay, thank you. But drumming can be a part of Native American storytelling too. So if we had a nice, many hands on legs drum beat, sort of like the beat of a heart, it might help the dancers, the performers. Okay, thank you very much. walked with one another. The animals lived along the flanks of the mountains, and the seasons passed one after another, summer and fall and winter and spring. The animals were all around, eating all summer long, getting ready for winter. And when winter came, they all went to their lodges and spent the winter dreaming up stories of things they would do in the summer. When spring came and the sun came back and the shadows started getting behind the trees, the animals came out. There was many animals on the forest. There was deer who walked around the forest very stately, looking around. His antlers grew so big they were as tall as the trees, and he ran so fast that he created a wind wherever he went. Also on the mountain lived Coyote. Coyote, with her long legs, ran here and there across the mountain. She loved to play tricks on everybody. She even played tricks on her shadows. Weasel also lived on the mountain. Weasel was a great hunter. She was very fast. She could climb trees. She could swim in the water. With her long body, she could bend and turn and twirl. And when she was done hunting for the day, she got out her drum and played her magic drum. Fox was the most beautiful animal on the forest. He loved his orange fur coat that everybody admired. Fox also had a long tail that hung out straight behind him. He was very proud of it. Rabbit also lived on the mountain. Rabbit loved flowers all day long. He was picking flowers, eating the green leaves and the orange blossoms and the purple berries of flowers. He was busy all day long. But he didn't run out of energy because at night he got out his power rattles and he sang songs and danced around. There was many mice that also lived in the forest. They were very hard workers. All summer they gathered food in baskets to store for the winter. And when they were done with their day's work, they would get out their power bows and aim towards the stars and shoot their dreams high. There was also many birds that lived in the forest. They flew between the trees and their shadows flitted around. Woodpecker swooped between the trees, and she would have, with her strong claws, she would climb to the top of the tallest tree. Her red head would flash in the sun, and with her strong beak, she would hammer big holes into the trees, and all the animals of the forest could hear her hammer. Stellar blue jay lived in the forest also. She loved dancing, and when she danced her frog dance or her hawk dance, her blue fans flashed in the sunlight. Meadowlark sang in the forest many songs all summer long. She sang and sang and sang. She loved to sit on a rock with her head up to the sky, flashing her yellow vest so all the animals could see her bright yellow feathers. There were not only birds in the sky in the forest, but there were spiders. Many spiders spun long, long, long strings of silk that glistened in the wind as they flew around. The spiders could make incredible geometric patterns with their webs, square patterns and diamond patterns and spiral patterns. They made the forest a very beautiful place. In the winter, when the shadows all left, the sun went away and the shadows all left, the animals went back to their winter lodges to keep warm out of the cold. One year winter came, and it got cold and colder and colder. The clouds got thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. Winter stayed and never left. Finally, that up on the stage is Silver Gray Fox. She used to live in the forest, but she got tired of all Coyote's tricks and went to live above the clouds in the sun. So she was not cold when winter came, but all the other animals were freezing. Finally, Blue Jay and Woodpecker came together in a tree. They were huddled and cold. There was nothing to eat. They said,
"Oh, what should we do? Winter's coming and it hasn't left yet. What should we do?"
they thought maybe if they called Silver Gray Fox, who lived above the clouds, Silver Gray Fox could help. They called and called and
Gray
called.
Fox, help! We need help.
They called till their voices went away. They couldn't talk anymore.
Gray Fox.
Nothing happened. The sky was still gray. They needed something to do. With their last bits of strength, they flew till they could find Coyote's cave. They got to Coyote's cave. They said, "Coyote, Coyote, wake up. You have to help us."
Coyote, Coyote, wake up. You have to help us.
Coyote.
Go away. But it's back in the spring. But it should be spring, but it's still winter. You have to help us.
Coyote was very grumpy, but she got up and she went to the top of the nearest hill and she called and called and called to Silver Gray Fox. She called until she had no voice, and nothing happened. The birds looked at her. She looked at them and said, "I'll think of something." And just then she saw Spider-Woman sliding down her silk. Spider-Woman had 60 cold and hungry children in her nest. Coyote said,
"Oh, Spider-Woman, how wonderful and beautiful. I was wondering if you could help us call the Silver Gray Fox, please."
Spider-Woman thought and thought. She said finally, "I have an idea, but I am not the one to do it."
I'm not the one to do it.
And she called her twins.
Twins!
Her youngest children, her best spinners, and she said to them, "Here is the plan."
Here's my...
Then Coyote led the twins. She was walking through deep, deep, deep snow. It was going to be a long way to climb to the top of the mountain. When the other animals saw Coyote, they knew something was up, and so they joined her, deer and mice. The mice got their bow, fox came, rabbit came with his rattles, and weasel came with her drum, and yet meadowlark came with her brown shawl wrapped around her. And when they got to the top of the mountain, Coyote said, "We must all work together to have this plan work. Everyone must use all their powers, and we can never get tired and stop. Take your places." The mice raised their bows and pointed to the same place in the sky. The spider twins spun and spun their silk. Deer started running in a circle. The animals played their drums and rattles and sang their songs and created a whirlwind. Coyote said to the mice, "Now!" Their arrows shot to the sky. The silk went up on the whirlwind, and when it snagged on the arrows, the mice, the spiders climbed up the silk. They climbed and climbed and climbed very, very high. And when they got to the top of the clouds in the sun, they fell asleep exhausted. A little while later, they heard a voice. It was Silver Gray Fox. She said, "May I help you?" The twins woke up. "Oh, Silver Gray Fox," they said.
"Oh, Silver Gray Fox, you must help us. All the animals are calling for us to move back. It hasn't left where it's supposed to. All the animals are freezing and cold. Can you put them all down there?"
Silver Gray Fox heard all the animals call, and she said, "I like all the animals working together, even Coyote." She said, "I have an idea, but you must close your eyes and think very hard." She told them to imagine stripes of color, blue and red and yellow and orange and purple and green. And when they had imagined all those stripes of color, she said, "Now, open your eyes." The twins opened their eyes, and there was the very first rainbow arcing across the sky.
Did we do that?
And then they said, "How will that help the animals below?" Silver Gray Fox said, "There is one more thing you must do." And she told them. And while she was telling them that, the animals below, frustrated because nothing had changed, went back to their winter lodges. Silver Gray Fox said, "Give me each a strand of your silk, and when you follow this down, don't let go." The twins went down, 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 down through layers and layers and layers and layers of clouds. And when they got below the clouds, they spun out on their silk to their very own nest where their mother hugged them with all her 8 arms. She said, "What happened? What happened?"
Oh, a Silver Gray Fox told us how to bring back summer, but first we must gather all the animals.
And so all the spider twins, 60 brothers and sisters, went out and gathered all the other animals in the forest. They twirled on their silk, and they brought all the animals together into a great circle. And all the animals were saying, "What happened? What happened?" But the twins said, "Quiet. There's something you must do."
There's something you must do. Close your eyes and think of all the colors you could think of.
And when the twins saw that all the animals had imagined all those colors, they said, "Now."
Open your eyes.
And the animals looked up, and there was a giant rainbow coming down from Silver Gray Fox's hands through the clouds down to the ground. And this rainbow made a hole in the clouds, and the sun came through, and the snow melted, and Meadowlark gave her loudest whistle of spring. And all the animals danced again in the forest because spring was coming and they would be saved.
I did it! It was on me! It was on me!
And that is how winter ended. And spring came back to the forest. And ever since then, if you look at a dewdrop in a spider web,
It was on me!
if you look very closely, you can see a rainbow in each dewdrop, which is how Silver Gray Fox wants us to remember what the spider twins did and when all the animals worked together to bring spring back to the mountain.